Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Santi. If you're already here, kindly smash the like button. If you're new, kindly subscribe to the channel and support your boy as I push my way to 10,000 subscribers. In this video, we're going to discuss the talking point from Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0. I'll start by singing Samina Mina. Bro, waka. Oh my days. What a game. I mean, what a performance from the entire team yesterday. It was a massacre, it was a bloodbath, it was dominant. I can't find words to describe how well the team played yesterday. And I couldn't have written a more perfect script myself for the game. Havertz scoring 2 goals, we beating Chelsea 5-0 like they were Sheffield United. I couldn't imagine a better result, to be honest. But before I go on, let's jump into the talking points. Number one, Martin Odegaard is the best player in this Arsenal team, and arguably our best player this season. I know it was not really consistent first half of the season, but this second half of the season is taking his claim at being the best player in the entire league. In this Premier League campaign, he had one of his best performance, if not the best, in an Arsenal shirt in that game yesterday. It was monstrous. It was absolutely unplayable. I think he had a bit of free roll yesterday, maybe due to the introduction of Partey into the team. It was, seen on the right side of the pitch, was seen on the left side of the pitch. Anywhere it was on the pitch yesterday, it was causing havoc in that game. You look at his number from the game, he played 90 minutes, had 2 assists, 1.39 expected assists, 84 touches, completed 58 of 66 passes at 88% accuracy, had 8 key passes, the most of any players on the pitch, completed 2 of 3 crosses, completed 5 of 7 long balls, created 2 big chances, had 1 shot off target, 1 block shot, attempted 4 dribbles, completed 3 of them, won 8 of 11 grand draws, contested 0 area draws, lost possession 13 times, committed 1 foul, was fouled 3 times. He had an incredible performance and his numbers didn't end there. Most chances created for Arsenal in the Premier League since 2016-2017. Number 1, Mesut Ozil created 12 chances against Sunderland in 2017. Number 2 was Odegaard in that game yesterday, created 8 chances. Number 3 was Ozil against Everton in 2017, created 8 chances. Ozil against Newcastle, 8 chances. Alexis against Burnley, 8 chances. Ozil against West Brom, 7 chances. Odegaard again against Aston Villa in 2020, the last year, 7 chances. Odegaard again against West Ham United this year, 7 chances. It will be versus Watford, 7 chances. And Odegaard again against Wolves last year, 6 chances. Goes to show how important he is to this Arsenal team. Even the games we lost back in December, he didn't deserve to lose that game. Was, always our best player on the pitch, was stepping up like the captain that he is. And even the game against Bayern Munich, it was really, really good. The game against Aston Villa last weekend was absolutely sensational in that game as well. But the rest of the team didn't turn up, and it's so unfortunate that we had to lose that game, because if we had won that game, we'll be in the driving seat with just 4 games to go in the Premier League. Number 2, Thomas Partey is back with 56 touches in that game. He completed 38 of 44 passes at 86% accuracy rate, had 2 key passes, completed 2 of 3 long balls, had 0 shots on target, 0 shots off target, had 3 shots blocked, completed 1, 2 of 6 ground dress, 1 of 1 area dress, lost possession 8 times, committed 2 fouls, was fouled once, 1 clearances, 3 interceptions, and 1 tackles. The introduction of him to this team and into the team yesterday meant Declan Rice could push forward up the pitch, which got him 1 assist, and was really, really involved in everything we were doing in that midfield yesterday. And it's been common sense at the beginning of the season that our best midfield three is the midfield three of Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, and Martin Odegaard. But unfortunately, Partey has not been available since the beginning of the season. And now that he's back, and he's back to his best, because that was the original Partey that we saw in that game yesterday. Before yesterday, I've been saying he's looked really rusty every time he came on. And the fact that he was started in that game yesterday shows he's coming back to his best. And we saw it in the game. This guy playing in this Arsenal team is one of the best DM, if not the best DM in the world. And we saw exactly that yesterday, how good we can play with him in the on the pitch. It's just really, really sad that he can't stay fit. But I mean, he had a surgery after his last injury, and I really really hope he can stay fit to the end of this of his career, because up until his legs fall off, he will continue to be one of the best players on the in the world. And we saw what he brings to the team yesterday. To the end of the season, for me, a midfield three of Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, and Declan Rice has to start every single game. If Partey can play full 90 minutes, you're managing his minutes. Bring on Giorgio in the second half, maybe 70 something minutes, 80 something minutes, and maybe 60 something minutes as well if we already won the game by large margins. So yeah, we can see what he brings into this team. And it's so good to have him back. It's just so unfortunate that we couldn't have him available for the entirety of the season. But now that he's back, we have four important games left to go, and it will really really be crucial to what we want to achieve this season. Number three, Benjamin White is the best right back in the Premier League this season. There's absolutely no debate about it. With a rating of 9.7. Ben White played 90 minutes in that game, scored 2 goals, had 0 clearances, 1 blocked shot, 1 interception, 1 tackle, was dribble pass once, had 80 touches in the game, completed 48 of 58 passes at 83% accuracy rate, had 3 key passes, completed 0 crosses, 1 4 of 5 ground drills, 1 3 of 5 aerial drills, lost possession 16 times. And we could really see, how good he was defensively, completely kept Mudryk short the entire game. And he managed to get 2 goals as well. His crosses, his passes, the way he drifted into midfield to receive the ball, and his passes in between the line this second half of the season has really, really improved as well. And his level of consistency and his level of availability to this team, I think, is that one player alongside maybe Saliba that has played a lot of minutes, that has played the most minutes for us this season. He's never been injured. He's It was reported a few weeks ago that he's been playing with pains, and the entire team, staff, and his teammates at London Colony are, surprised at how much pain he can withstand. And even if he's this good while playing with pain, just imagine how good it will be when he's pain free. I don't think it's a no-brainer. Southgate has to get him into his England squad. I don't care how he wants to do it, beg him, drag him, or whatever. He needs to go to the Euros for England. He had an absolute fantastic game again against Chelsea yesterday. Going forward, it was brilliant. Defending, it was superb. Before I go on, let's take a look at the performance of Leandro Trossard in that game. I've always said this guy is our best finisher at the club. He had an absolute fantastic game yesterday. Going forward, it was, dangerous, taking on his man, completing dribbles here and there, and got our first chance of the game, put it away in a fantastic way from a very tight corner as well. And he managed to break the record for, his output in the Premier League in that game yesterday. Leandro Trossard has reached double figures for goals in the Premier League season for the first time in his career. He now has 5 goals in his last 8 Premier League starts for Arsenal. That's so incredible, considering the fact that this guy was brought in to deputize for Martinelli, and he's had over 30 goal contributions since coming into this team over a year ago. And this guy was gotten for just 29 million pounds instead of we spending 80 million on Mudryk. I mean, going back there, I think every Arsenal fans would choose Trossard over Mudryk all over again, even though everybody was disappointed with his signing at first. But since he came in, every time he's been called upon to play for this team, he's always delivered. And I think his goal ratio, his goal per minute ratio is like a goal contribution every 130 minutes, which is so good for a player that was brought in to be a deputy to a starting winger. And Martinelli's inconsistency this season meant Trossard has had to play a lot of minutes, and he's delivered. For me, he has to start every single game until Martinelli fights his way back into the team. Because right now, he's not really playing with confidence. And I'm going to go into Martinelli right now. A lot of people have been trying to blame players he's been playing around during the course of the season. Oh, it's because he's been playing around Havertz. It's because he was sacrificed for Rice. A lot of bushes I've been airing myself. And I'm thinking these guys' decision making has been off the entire season. I remember that game against Sevilla. I remember that game against Sevilla in the Champions League group stage where he took on his man every now and then, beat his man, and his decision making was just off. Was just spamming crosses into spaces for no one to connect with. And you're trying to blame all these things on players he's been playing around, which doesn't make sense to me. Against Wolves, was it Wolves who played last at the weekend? He came on, had two good chances to score. Instead of him to pass to Saka on one occasion, he decided to go alone. Terrible effort. The other one, he could have scored on his own 1v1 against the goalkeeper. Another terrible effort. So when it comes to Martinelli, I think it's a thing of confidence, it's a thing of poor decision making. In that game against Chelsea yesterday, again, the same thing. Had like three chances to score in that game, especially the last one, which was literally the last kick of the game, which could have made the score 6-0, which would have been a very perfect score line for that game. Because am I happy with 5-0? 100%. But when the chance was there to score the sixth goal and we wasted it like that, I can't really be satisfied. And this has been a thing with Martinelli. And I've been saying it's completely normal for a player to have a rough patch. I think that's what's going on with Martinelli right now. You don't have to blame it on every other player in the team. That's what's going on with Martinelli right now. I believe in Sterling. I believe in him to bounce back from this rough patch, deal with it, and bounce back stronger. He has the talent. His evidence is there. So just let the guy take responsibility for his poor form. It's completely okay. It's normal. Some of the world best players ever has had, some rough patches in their career whereby they're going through poor form, poor run of form, and that's what's happening to Martinelli right now, which I believe because Trossard has been playing on that particular way and he's been delivering. If we're talking about okay, the ball is not getting to Martinelli, I can completely, relate to the understand that. But sometimes the ball gets to him and his decision making has just been off. And even if the system change is affecting him, he has to adapt. I mean, Bukayo Saka was at the beginning of his career, he was given spaces, to do things a lot he wanted to do. And the moment they saw like, oh, this guy is good, they started doubling up on him, and he adapted. His output is still there, always been there, improving consistently every single season. Ben White started out for us as centre back, was moved to the right back to accommodate Saliba. He adapted. Second half of this season, he's been asked to play as an inverted fullback in some games, and he adapted brilliantly well. So Odegaard as well has been asked to drop deeper, be more involved in the first phase of attack this season. Even though he struggled earlier on in the season, he adapted. You have to find a way to adapt. A team cannot be stagnant just to accommodate you. That's the modern football. I'm sorry. So if the system change is sort of affecting you, then you have to adapt. It might take time, but at the end of the day, you would have to adapt because the system will not be brought back to accommodate you. They will rather move on and get in a player that can play in that particular system. So I genuinely trust him to bounce back to his best self. And moving on, Bukayo Saka as well had a very decent game. Didn't get on the score sheet, had one assist, but even take the assist away from the game. He was involved in everything we did in that. Every single goal in that game had Bukayo Saka on it. Declan Rice, amazing performer. Kai Havertz, his decision making in the first half absolutely killed me. When he was supposed to shoot, my guy passed the ball, and it was a very terrible pass. When he was supposed to pass, what did he do? A terrible effort at goal as well. And in the second half, he came out, gun blazing, got two goals, celebrated in front of Chelsea fans, and that pissed a lot of Chelsea fans off, which is a very, very good thing to say because they wanted this guy out. He left the club, and they never stopped talking about him. They never stopped disrespecting him. And now he scored against them, and they're expecting him not to celebrate. They think he owes them respect when they never respected him. I love the fact that he celebrated in their faces, two on their heads, and the fact that Arteta took him off absolutely pissed me off because I was hoping he would get an hat trick against them, which would have been Hollywood, which would have been perfect. But it is what it is. They had a very, very brilliant game. The entire backline, Gabriel Saliba, very, very brilliant outing yesterday by them. And Tomiyasu as well kept Madueke quiet the entire game. Raya was bought throughout, only had to make one save the entire game. The Drogba regen that Chelsea put on that guy is actually very, very funny because they could have gotten 1 or 2 goals in that game. They created a few chances. Fair play to them, but that guy is just so wasteful. But then it's a good thing for us, and it was a very, very brilliant result. Let me know what you think about the game in the comment section. Smash the like button. It helps the channel go a long way. Who was your man of the match from the game? And I will see you guys on the next one.